Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ramblin' with Ramsey. I'm here with Justin White, the leader of our employee benefits team, and honestly, I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
That's what makes it fun.
Exactly. So, Justin's got some ideas and thoughts that can help you and me and all of us when it comes to our health insurance. So, I'm going to let him take it over and we'll see where it goes from there.
Perfect. Thanks, Rainbow.
Yeah.
All right. So what I like to do is kind of use you as an example of what I'm doing with some employers and their employees to talk about kind of the issues with healthcare. We can't just, I feel like sit back and complain about what's going on in healthcare. There are actually ways to attack some of the issues in healthcare. So I'm gonna give an example here of, as a consumer, how you might choose to do things differently when it comes to your health plan, and really expose how your health plan is working and why you may want to pick a different way. So, all right, Ramsey, today you insure your family.
Yep.
Okay. And your family consumes healthcare in one way or another, right?
Yep. Constantly.
So, all right, let me ask you. So this year, you guys, every time you went for any type of service, did you pull out your insurance card every time you went?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. And the reason you did that, right, is so you could get the discount
right.
that they negotiated for you,
Yep.
and have it count toward your deductible and out of pocket, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So in this example, what I'd like to show is, do you know what you pay a month for your car insurance premium?
I pay about $150 a month.
Okay. So let's call that $1,800 a year, and this is going to be your car insurance, right?
Yep.
All right. How often do you shop out your car insurance premium?
Probably every couple of years. Like I actually shopped it out this year for the first time in probably 3-4 years.
What did you get a better rate?
I did,
Okay.
yeah. Like we shopped it and we've switched companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So from a relative perspective, your car insurance, as it compares to what you actually happen to own a business, so you know what the family premium is
Yep.
for the health insurance. But so
do.
as a comparison, that number's a lot lower
Yes.
than what's being billed for your health insurance.
Oh
premium,
yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So let me ask this:
Turn
if
this right here.
something were to happen, let's say that you get out in the parking lot today and you see a dent in your car.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but if you see one,
It wasn't you.
it wasn't me, and you see a dent in your car, are you going to file that as a claim with your car insurance?
Probably not. I'd probably go get an estimate. I would see what it's going to cost and talk to my agent, Keith, and say, is this something that we need to turn in or not? Or is this something that we just need to go ahead and just pay out of pocket?
Okay.
But we probably wouldn't if it's something just minor.
And you know what your deductible is on your?
Oh gosh. Let's say it's 1,000.
Okay. So let's say your deductible is $1,000. You spend $1,800 a year. You spend $1,000. So
Yep.
obviously for a dent, that dent's probably going to be less than that deductible, right?
Yeah.
But you're still not even trying to consider turning it in. Now let's say something happened and it was $1,200. Okay, the cost was $1,200. Would you consider turning it in? And what would be the reasons you wouldn't turn it in if it was $1,200?
I probably wouldn't, with it being that close to the deductible.
And why would be the reason that you probably wouldn't turn it in?
Well, because we're gonna have to pay $1,000 of the $1,200. That $200 that the insurance is gonna be paying, they're gonna be dinging us more on our rate in the future
Right.
because of that one
so
little thing.
this number is going to go up if you
Yeah.
file that claim.
Yeah, even just that $200.
So you're trying not to file claims, right?
Yep.
All right. So why don't we do that in medical insurance? So when you every service that we already asked you at the beginning, I asked you, did you use your insurance card every time, right? You
Yep.
said, yep, use it every time, right?
Every time.
Okay. So if everybody in an employer group that's out there, if you're in a plan that's looking at what's happening on your, that the claims that are being looked at. So let's say you're an employer with over 50 employees, or you're in some sort of self-insured arrangement, they're looking at what you're spending, right?
Yep.
So if every employee is filing every single claim that's on there, then odds are that group's going to get an increase on their premium, right?
Every year.
All right, so right here, we've already determined on our car insurance, we don't think that way. We try to keep the claims off.
Yep.
Probably the same way for our homeowner's insurance. And one of the odd things too about the car insurance, if we file too many claims too often, they might terminate the policy and cancel us, and we can't get it anymore.
Exactly.
Which that's not going to happen in health insurance,
No.
but you're going to deal with a big increase. Okay, so what if on my car insurance premium, I expected it to cover gas, brakes, wipers, basically any expense that I would have? What do you think my car insurance premium would be now? So I mean, and again, I'm just let's make up a number. But you were paying $1,800 a year. Let's say you spend $500 a month in gas. Okay,
Yeah.
so that alone $6,000. So now this premium might jump up to $10,000 a year because everything I'm doing is covered under the $10,000
towards the car. Right.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So now, let's just assume every time you go to the gas pump, so this is going to be the real issue of what's going on. So now this gets to an expense like my health insurance. Now I'm paying a lot of attention to it. But what I'm going to show you next is what's wrong with the healthcare system and why we need to maybe think a little differently. So let's say every time you go to fill up on gas, okay? So now you have a card with your carrier.
Yep.
And just like we do on our health insurance, okay? And it's got this list of networks of gas stations we can go to.
Yeah.
So you show up at the gas station and you put your card up against the gas pump, right? And all of a sudden you get the invoice that comes out. So let's say that invoice said, hey, that gas that you just filled up was $10 a gallon. What would you think about that?
It's a lot.
All right?
Yeah.
But when you look up at the sign,
Yeah.
it says you can get it for $2.20 a gallon.
Yep.
Would you think you're getting a good deal?
No.
All right. Would you think the fact that it's $10 a gallon determined that you really wouldn't pay $10 a gallon, right?
Right.
Because you can get it for $2.20 a gallon. And the fact that you're paying $10 a gallon is probably going to make your premium higher. So if what happens is that next year the $10 a gallon goes to $11 a gallon, that number's going to go up to cover it, right?
Even more. Yep.
So this is what's happening in every health plan out there is the carrier discounts in most instances are not lower than what you could get on a cash price. The unfortunate part is in a lot of instances you can't get in there without having the carrier network. So you kind of in some cases have to have it. There's some that you don't, but in a lot of cases you have to have it. So all I'm saying is start asking what the price would be on certain things without insurance. And then it's going to improve your cash flow. Okay, if I just start taking and paying for my gas at $2.20 a gallon and I'm filling up all the time, in some plans that's also going to affect my rates. So obviously my utilization is lower because I'm not even filing the claim against my insurance company, which is what we determined on the car insurance. Why we don't file claims against it is we don't want our premium to go up. But just start asking the question.
Yeah.
So here's the main point to it is if we all in a group start asking the question, shouldn't this number come down because we have lower utilization against the plan because it never even hit the insurance?
Right.
Now, Ramsey already said his mentality on car insurance was to avoid filing claims because he doesn't want to go up. Traditionally, our mentality on health insurance is what he also said was, I'm filing claims, I'm paying that premium, I got to get something out of this. So if I'm telling you that your carrier hasn't really done a great job of keeping the cost to you down in your plan, why would you do that?
Right.
So if Ramsey's goal is to get to his maximum out of pocket as quick as he can, and if every employee in the company's goal is that, the rates are always going to go up. So, because we're overpaying for services, so we're going to get there quick. We're going to get to that max out of pocket quick because those rates always go up inside the plan.
Yeah.
And so if everyone's goal is to get their max out of pocket because they kind of feel like, well, I'm paying this premium, I need to get something out of it, then your rates are always going to go up. If you want to do something about it and save money from a cash flow perspective, start asking the question. And so, you might go get an MRI. So you ask her a question, when do I ask? So let's say you're scheduled for an MRI, which I'm going to have to get one on my arm because I thought I was John Elway during football for Thanksgiving football game. And so it hurts really bad and I can't move it in certain directions. So I'm going to have to get an MRI after the first of the year.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm going to ask the imaging center, what's your cash price? They're going to tell me it's $500, most likely.
Yeah.
They're going to say $500. I've got to make a decision. Do I want to pay $900 at that imaging facility to have it count for my insurance?
Right.
or do I want to pay 5 and save the money? So that's the question I've got to
Yeah,
ask. And so
it is.
since I put money in an HSA, I'd rather spend $500 out of my HSA than $900.
Yeah.
So I think if we all start viewing health insurance as being there for when something major happens, God forbid if I get diagnosed with cancer, I don't want to be a consumer.
No.
I want to go to the best facility I can. It's all
Right.
going to be overpriced.
Yeah.
It's all going to be overpriced.
Yeah.
It's not a great negotiated rate, but my consumerism is the last thing I'm thinking about.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about saving my life.
Right.
That's what the insurance is really designed for.
Yeah.
But it's priced today for all this little stuff that's overinflated and
Yeah.
overpriced. It's not the best deal we could get. So if you can get yourself in a plan, and for a lot of y'all, this is really, I'm probably speaking more to employers. If you can get yourself in a plan that you can get everybody on the plan with this same mindset and this same thought, you're going to be able to keep your costs down the best you can.
Yes.
And then you're going to be able to offer better benefits to your employees at a lower cost, more comprehensive coverage, better access to healthcare, and spend it on what people are actually using. And then, unfortunately today the premiums are so high. I'm paying that premium, I got to use it. Just know if every time you think that way and you stick that card out there and you feel like you have to use it,
I go on that.
that's what's going on.
Think about like you're in control of certain things,
Right.
Like you said, like if it is like a major medical emergency or illness or something like that,
It's not the time to be a consumer.
it's not. But it's the daily, the weekly, the prescriptions, it's the doctor's visits, getting like an MRI, those sort of things that you do have a choice on.
That's right.
Right?
That's
so
right. That's
those
right.
little things over time as a group can really help control at those increases and try to stabilize those rates.
That's right. And then, we said in our last segment, I think I said, you're trying to get everybody rowing in the same direction.
Yep.
And that's the thing. If you're in that boat and you're trying to row in the same direction, it's pretty powerful to see when you get 80 employees or 100 employees and 120 employees with their dependents getting this. Doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of education, takes a lot of communicating, but you got to be in the right plan. You got to have the right mechanisms in place. But the point is, even if you're in a situation that you're not necessarily in the right plan and you're in a community rated plan and it's going to do what it's going to do no matter what you do, think about it from the consumerism standpoint, from the cash flow standpoint. Ask that question.
Ask the question.
I mean,
Yep.
don't just throw your card out there because you wouldn't do it with your car insurance. You wouldn't try to file every claim because your rate would go up. But then somehow we're surprised that our rate goes up on the medical. And so again, hopefully this illustration lets everybody know this is what's happening inside the plan. The gas being charged is at $10 a gallon. We know we can buy it less. And so if you can buy it less, do it.
Yeah.
You're going to save money when you do that.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you're in a mechanism that also makes your fixed costs, which would be your rates, go down because you had less utilization.
Exactly. Yeah. For the short term and for the long term.
Yep. This is how you as a consumer can be a better consumer and start thinking about your health plan the same way you think with your car insurance.
Yeah.
And don't try to file every claim because you can get a better deal out there.
Exactly. Dude, that was great.
All right, man.
I learned something. I hope that y'all learned something as most plans are renewing right now, going into 2020. You're kind of starting over.
That's right. You're
Think
set.
about it.
That's
This is the time to be like, oh, okay, I need to reevaluate how I'm going to be using my healthcare plan going forward. So I think this is a perfect time to talk about it. So thanks again, and hopefully like I know Justin is sharing this with all of his groups. So if y'all have got questions on your group on how you can implement this, it's all about the communication.
Yeah.
Breaking it down to a way that
Everyone
really
understands.
anybody can understand it. Everybody that's driving around has got to be, has to take care of their car and buying gas, and they have their insurance, so they can really understand it this way.
Don't pay $10 a gallon for your gas.
It's simple. So, Justin, thanks, man.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Enjoy the rainbow.
Yeah.
All right, man.